Hey, it's that time again. I'm trying to make sure to do these daily blogs for y'all. I always keep everything to myself. I don't really care what anyone thinks. So, haha. So here we are. Going to give you guys some updates on some amazingness. I mean, as we know, what just happened, Colorado legalized mushrooms. That was a win. It's officially approved. Hoorah! They also got DMT and a couple other things inside of that group. But the mushrooms is definitely what excites me and all of my team, and we are excited about that. So, yeah, big, amazing news. So, two, labs going together real nice. We finally got all our stainless steel installed, the ceiling tiles installed, working on getting our sinks installed here next week, our electricity run, and getting all geared up. Of course, we got all our genetics just sitting, waiting. We're starting to do a lot of trades right now. So if you got genetics and you want to trade, come on at me. We do some genetic trading. Yeah, really impressed with some of our more finer, strains, cultivars, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, they're amazing. Like, whew, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So it's going to be amazing. But what am I going to talk about today? Because I kind of wanted to at least have a subject every day to discuss. We're going to discuss a tough little subject. It's going to be a tough one. We're going to discuss a study that just went down. It's being touted all over the place. You've probably read it. Psychedelic study shows increased, increased. Wait, I'm sorry. Showed. God, my brain is just not getting these words correct. It showed that there was a decrease in depression amongst patients. Now, the thing about this study that they're referring to recently, it was conducted by a company called Comp something. And they use a synthetic version of psilocybin called Comp 365. Now, what do y'all think about that? Kind of crazy, right? A synthetic version of psilocybin. I mean, here we are just now legalizing psilocybin, and now we're already talking about synthetic versions? So, it will be fun to see how things progress. I mean, when it comes to like THC and HHC and CBD and all that stuff, things took off. And of course now there is just tons of new products on the market, tons of new you know like multi blends where they blend CBD and HHC and THCO together, and it has just like completely taken over the market. um I don't know, you think mushrooms will do that? You think they'll start, dissecting all the little pieces of the mushroom and popping it into different products? Like the thing about it is like the HHC, correct me if I'm wrong, but from layman's understand, is HHC is generally THC, but it's been converted from large legal hemp fields, so it doesn't necessarily count as THC. But I don't know how that even works. I think that's just bullshit. It doesn't even make no sense to me. It's got to be something else. Maybe a chemist could jump in here and help us figure out what the hell HHC is. Because trust me, I went to many a booths and not a single person selling it could tell me exactly what HHC is. Besides, it gets you fucked up. Okay. But back to that study about psilocybin. The thing that I thought was funny in that study was that they showed increased benefits to people with depression, withdrawal of symptoms and all that stuff, but that it quickly went away after less than 3 months' time from the synthetic. Now, I don't know if you remember the John Hopkins study that was done last year or the year before. Probably last year. Yeah, last year. That study showed a very long term, over a year, um, in patients that seen depressive states. And it was a year that it affected them to not having those in huge, percentages of improvement. So, the real psilocybin is obviously having better effects than this fake synthetic. But we know that what's going to happen is the market's going to flood out with all these, chocolate bars. It's already happening. There's already chocolate bars all over the market. It's just repackaged Delta 8 and it's being called, they're, Salt Bay and a little bit of Lion's Mane in there. They're calling it, psychedelic. Um, you know, and it's a little bit misleading, but those products are already starting to take foot in the market. Would you even need a synthetic psilocybin product if it found its way into your town, or would you rather just actually maybe use your First Amendment right to petition the government and change the laws in your state so you could have psilocybin legal in your state? You know, um, so yeah, what's going down with that? I wish I could see the feed. I see a couple of you guys in here. I appreciate y'all coming in and checking us out. I don't know if you guys are on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, but whatever channel you're on, I appreciate you coming into the stream, and I just want to say hello. All right. So, synthetic psilocybin, Comp 365. Let's do this. Let's see. I wanted to, and I didn't do it the other day. I kind of forgot to finish up my research on that. But who really wants to research fake shit when you're growing the real shit? Yeah. Yeah, it's listed as a business in England, is where the business is registered at. Synthetic psilocybin. Now, see, I've heard, some places, like the Netherlands, uses Compass Pathways. That's the name of the company. Uses God, I forgot what I was talking about. My bad. Yeah, here they are in their second trial phase. 10 countries, including U.S., assess the safety and efficiency of Comp 360 psilocybin therapy in 3 doses: 1 milligram, 2 milligram, and 25 milligrams. The results, published by the New England Journal of Medicine, shows that a single 25 milligram dose of Comp 360 psilocybin in combination with psychological support was associated with a highly statistical significant reduction in depressive symptoms. See, that's the words I was trying to find. Okay. A significant reduction in depressive symptoms after 3 weeks, with a rapid and durable response up to 12 weeks. That's what they're saying for their synthetic psilocybin. My question is how do they derive synthetic psilocybin? And they find a bacteria that produces psilocybin and just gets it going. A Professor David Hellerstein was the principal investigator of this operation, and he was based in New York. Yeah. And just for fun, let's pull the Johns Hopkins one up to talk about its results, because I want to make sure I'm not pulling this just from memory. My memory is improving, though. I have been taking a psilocybin Lion's Mane blend, referred to as the Stacks by Paul Stamets, and I gotta say, I have definitely seen an improvement. It's not 100% better, but it's definitely improvement. I couldn't remember what a pallet size was the other day, bro. I've shipped 1,000 pallets and I could not remember a pallet size. Drove me nuts. But here we are. And Bento's report. Oh yeah, I've got that one super clicked. They're like, yeah, you've been to this page 8 million times. Mm-mm-mm. Read the news releases. No, we don't want the news releases. We want the actual study. You gotta love news releases, though. You know, it kind of water coats it all, makes it so we can all digest it easy. Boo! Previous studies at the Johns Hopkins medicine researchers showed that psychedelic treatment with psilocybin relieved major depressive disorder symptoms in adults for up to a month. Now, in a follow up study of those participants, the researchers report that the substantial antidepressant effects of psilocybin assisted therapy given with supportive psychotherapy may last at least a year for some patients. Um, Great stuff. And it was the same dosage of the psilocybin for them, the 0.25. Here it is. The researchers reported that psilocybin treatment in both groups produced large decreased depression and that the depression severity remained a low one 3, 6, and 12 months after treatment. Depressive symptoms were measured before and after treatment using the GRID Hamilton Depression Rating Scale, a standard depression assessment tool in which a score of 24 or more indicates severe depression. And fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. And remission. Okay. Participants had stable rates of responses to the treatment and remission of symptoms throughout the follow up period with 75% response and 58% remission. I mean, that's huge. So, out of all the people that did this study, half of them seen a complete remission. And 75, seen the response from it. And that's just huge. Huge, 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 huge. A lot of other hard drugs are approved for less. Yeah, and it's a great study. I don't think we can. We want to pretend we can create something so amazing that we could somehow create the same thing that's been found in this beautiful, amazing little fungi. But I don't think it's possible, I mean, if you really truly think about it, like that fungus has had, 1 million years to develop all of its things. And there have been the studies that have proven plants, are able to, produce just the right thing so we can help them procreate. And here we are. It's not that far fetched to think that the psilocybin mushroom and the mushrooms have done the same thing for our bodies, so we could keep it procreating and going forth. And there's the theory, and there's a great theory running around here. A few people I've talked to believe this, that the mushrooms actually have a form of communication, and that what we're experiencing is a form of their communication. You can even see, studies of people hooking up, music to mushrooms and seeing electromagnetic pulses. I mean, it's just amazing, and I don't think we could ever, 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 ever recreate that in a lab. It would be nice, but I just don't think we can. I think we are just stewardess, helping the mushrooms grow to its fullest potential. I mean, and if you think about the diversity of a mushroom, even just in the P. cubensis section, that is one small section of a very, 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 very large family of mushrooms. And, just the P. cubensis has over 200 varieties just in that one little one. And that's not even talking about all the other amazing mushrooms out on the market. There's, actually, that's another thing, too. There's a new movement on the market, and I seen it. They had what is it called? Can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, they were selling other mushrooms that aren't, psilocybin mushrooms as legal psychedelic mushrooms before too. So Paul Stamets got a lot to say about that one, but we'll save that for another show. So there's a little bit of info for y'all. Make sure to look it up. Check out John Hopkins. Check out the Comp 365. Check out the study, and do your own research. Come to your own conclusions. Maybe come back into the chat one day, chat it up with me. Say hi. Say, hey, dude, you're wrong, man. Because that's what we do on the internet. But we invite that, and we look forward to the discussion with it. As for us, we're continuing to strive forward, continuing to get ready for licensing here in Oregon. We're, getting to less than 60 days away. So we're just gearing up and getting ready to roll. I'm excited. So this is my live video for the day. I think I've actually achieved my number. We actually talked about a subject. So that's it for me. I think I want to dip out. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for checking this out. Peace.